Today I'm going to show you how to install Rstudio on Android. So first go to my GitHub page where I have the instructions. We will first have to download Termux from the F-Droid store rather than from Play Store because the Play Store version is outdated. I have already downloaded the APK. Install, start, allow, go back to my instructions page. Now we will set up Termux, so copy this command, paste, and this will allow us allow Termux to, without restrictions of battery, run and allow the access to our internal storage and files. And now it is updating the packages, so put yes to every question, and it is being updating the packages. And then we will install Termux container, which will allow us to have Ubuntu on Android. And there are two ways of having Ubuntu on Android. One, the preferred one, is that if you have rooted your phone, you can use root, which it can run Ubuntu faster. Now I am copying these commands to install Termux container, paste it, and so root will run Linux commands natively because you have root, but if you don't have root, then you will have to use root, which emulates the Linux commands, so it is slower. And I have rooted my phone, so I will use the root version to run Ubuntu, but I have also the instructions for the non-rooted phones. You have to run the container command and then put new. Okay, so you finish. I will go back one folder just in case and run the container. Now you can see help to see all the commands that you have. And now I will create a new container. The name will be Ubuntu. For some reason I cannot see what I type, but now I will type root, and I am not sure what it is on share, but I will put true. Privilege level, I will use the recommended setting of 1. Mount SD card, I will put true so that I can see my files of my phone in Rstudio. And username, this will create a new user for Ubuntu, and I will put this password. The path for the root, you can put, for the rooted, you can put data and Ubuntu. But if you don't have root, then you will have to use another path that is shown in the instructions in the GitHub page. Now the operating system will be Ubuntu. The version is Yummy. So Jammy. Now it is downloading the image of the operative system, and now you can see the settings that I have used, and I will put continue, yes. Now I will give root access to Termux. Finish. Now to enter Ubuntu you can put login Ubuntu. Now I am in Ubuntu, and inside of Ubuntu I will download the Rstudio and R programs. So paste the commands, enter. If I will have used the brute version, these steps will have been way slower. Okay, so now it is downloading the Rstudio server binaries, because I have done a script before to install Rstudio on Android, but before we have to compile the program using the source code. But now we don't need to compile because there are binaries already compiled. So we just download the compiled version, and we skip the process of compilation that before. So yes to whatever it is asking. So before we have to wait. I used to leave overnight my phone to compile Rstudio, but now with the binaries we skip all of the compilation and reduce the time of installation of the program. And now you can go to any web browser and you can put localhost and the port that is 8787. But first we have to run a few commands more. So this is for non-rooted, so the ones that will use root. And for router devices, you can log in as root using the code above, or create a new user. So I don't know, I will use the to log in with as root. So I copy the commands that is the same for the non-root users and paste it. And now it asks me for a new password. So 124. And now I will try to log in to Rstudio as root, and my difficult password I can put stay signed in, and that's it. Now you have Rstudio on Android, and you see that in SD card you can access your Android files. And I don't know, I will install a package. I use sometimes the dplyr. I don't know how long it will take to install. Unfortunately, the packages you most likely will have to install from the source code, compile most of the packages, I guess, because the architecture of the CPU of the Android devices is ARM64, which is not commonly used, as for example computers, which is AMD64. So we don't have a pre-built binaries for the R packages. So now I guess it is installing from source all the dependencies required for dplyr that I decided to install. I think this will take a long time, and it finished. So let's see, library dplyr, and yeah, it loaded now. And let's see if I can create a new R notebook. So it asks me to update some packages, put yes. I don't like very much typing code in this interface, because the keyboard just opens and moves from the button. Like for example, if I press here and it zooms in to there, and then the keyboard uses some space. So I guess I will have to buy a inalambric keyboard and mouse, maybe, and a small one that I can put in my phone, and that way I guess it will be better to use this interface of Rstudio. So you lose time waiting for the packages to install, but you gain the portability of Rstudio. So if I travel, I guess I could continue my coding while traveling if I buy the wireless keyboard and mouse. And also sometimes even at my home, I guess, sometimes I want to code in my bed or in another place where I feel lazy to move my laptop, but with my phone I will do it more without much effort. But I don't know, also having a unknown place that you only work, like if you have a table where you have your laptop and that space is only for work might be better. It will require more discipline, but you will focus more, I guess, compared as if I try to code in my bed with my phone. But I would like to have this option, so that's why I'm installing Rstudio on my phone. Now I am recording over 20 minutes, and the installation of Rstudio took I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes, so it was very quick actually compared to the previous video where I had to build from source Rstudio. But this is taking longer than installing Rstudio. It's nice to log in as root, because then you can go to the terminal and you have access to your Ubuntu terminal. So from here you can do stuff to your Ubuntu OS. Okay, now it's finished, and now it created this, and I don't know if preview works or not, so I will write no test and preview. I have to check that. I guess it has something to do with the Ubuntu sessions. I have to install some more packages. But yeah, this is, I don't know if it can plot stuff. So run this chunk, and yes, it can plot. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can find this useful, so that you will have less excuses to start coding. Bye.